Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting edition of the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. This is the end of the year. This is the last show of 2022, and we are going against the hated fucking Baltimore Ravens. That's right, the Baltimore Ravens, Sunday night. That's right. I love everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm going to get into Facebook here so I can say hello to everybody. I'm sure they got a lot of questions because we are in the last 2 weeks of the regular season. That's right, guys. The last 2 weeks. This is episode 44 of the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show of this year. I've been busting my hump doing these shows, doing stuff for the Triple B experience, and just giving you guys all the insight of the greatest sports franchise that we know, and that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 7-8 with that great comeback victory against the Raiders on Christmas Eve, which inspired all of us on these last 2 games. There is a chance, people. There is a chance, by God, to get into playoffs. And I think we're at 2%. 2%, but you know what? I'll still take it because I want to watch Steeler football in the middle of January. I do. It's going to be rough, with Tomlin's record in January in playoff time, but I don't care. Let's take the Estes sketch, wipe it clean, and let's get to this game against the fucking hated Ravens. I hate the Ravens. I truly despise the Ravens. And if anybody that is a Steeler fan knows, this is the biggest rivalry in our division and in again for the Steelers program and organization for the last 20 years. 20 years, So let me get this. I'm trying to get people so I can talk to them. You know how it goes. Travis, thanks. Bubba, how you doing tonight? Fellows told me that the Steelers fired Matt Canada, so I don't know if it's true or not. I did not see anything about Matt Canada being fired. They're not firing Matt Canada this week or next week. We'll have to wait till the off season. We'll have to wait. He still has a year under contract, Travis. Hey, Shane, special field correspondent, Shane Stodmiller, thanks for tuning in. This is the end of the year, and if it's going to be the end of the year, 2022, with the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty, it's the Ravens, the hated Ravens. Hey, Michael Fabian. Whoa, you must be off the hill, brother. You must be off the hill. Happy New Year's to you, Fabe. Hey, Kelly Brewer, thanks for tuning in to my expertise and all my Steeler knowledge, Cal. I have it all written down, and I'm ready to go. So the Pittsburgh Steelers are 7-8 going against the Ravens, who are 10-5. The Ravens are in the playoffs. We are not. We have a 2% chance. It's like going to the high school dance thinking you can dance with the smoking hot girl. There's always a chance. And the Steelers, at the end of the seasons lately, always got to rely on everybody else and rely on ourselves to win. So we got a chance. So here we go. Now, the Steelers could be eliminated from the playoffs even before they take the snap come Sunday night. Because the Dolphins, if the Dolphins beat the Patriots at the 1 o'clock game, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be facing the Ravens in a pride game, which it's always going to be pride when the Steelers face the Ravens. It doesn't matter if it's playoffs or non-playoffs. This is a big rivalry. I believe this is probably the biggest NFL rivalry that the NFL has. Donnie Fulmer, Mr. Tapout, how you doing tonight? Thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show, Donnie. Always a pleasure. Always. So now this game got flexed. It was at 1 o'clock. Thank God it's not. I know some people. I know Michael Fabian likes 1 o'clock games. Well, I do too if I don't have to work. But I have to work this weekend, and I hate working when a Steeler game's on. It boggles my mind, but I have to do it. Got to pay the bills. So, but they flexed the game to 8:20 on the Peacock Network. That's right, the NBC. Good old NBC. So, Baltimore, Maryland, at the M&T Bank Stadium, which is probably a shithole, I'm guessing. I've never been there. Hey, Benjamin, thanks for tuning into the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. I've never been to the Ravens Stadium. I honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. I drove by Cleveland. I've never been to any other stadium except for Pittsburgh Stadium. I'm sorry, 17 years. I watched a lot of games in Pittsburgh. I just don't have any desire to go to any other stadiums right now. I like watching it at home. Like I said, that Ben Roethlisberger last game Monday night was enough for me. And if I would have had tickets for last week, I would have froze my ass off because it was bad. So, but anyway, speaking of weather, it's supposed to be around 50 degrees. That's right. Now I'm a weather forecaster. Now it's going to be partly cloudy skies in the Baltimore County area. It's going to be 50. That's good. I would hate to have another week of playing in hellacious winds and sub-zero temperatures. I couldn't do it, and I'm as big as a friggin' polar bear. I wouldn't want to do it. So the Ravens, hate to say this, guys, the Ravens are favored by 3. Home field advantage. Home field advantage. Really, Hayden Stodmiller, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. I believe, this is what I believe, is the Steelers and the Ravens. The Ravens had a bit of luck this year. The Steelers and Ravens are about neck and neck. They are. How you doing, Hayden? So, I mean, they just had a couple wins, and realistically, that last game, the Steelers lost 16-14, which was the Mitch Trubisky interception experience when he threw 3 picks in the red zone. And we had no run defense. The run defense was not there. And we went against a second and a third string quarterback, and we lost 16-14. Benjamin says the Steelers are going to win. He always takes the Steelers. Ravens 24-17. I believe you might. I believe you're right. And I'm going to give my prediction later on here, but I do believe that this game is going to be something from the aftermath of the Raiders game and the run defense stopping of the Carolina Panthers, stopping Josh Jacobs last week. I believe the Steelers defense has a reckoning coming. Has a reckoning coming against the Ravens. This is not going to be the same because I believe the Ravens are hurt. They have a lot of injured players. We're going to get to the injury report real quick. Okay. But the Steelers are trying also to play for a non-losing season. They have a lot to play for. Even if the Dolphins beat the Patriots, there still is pride on the line, people. Tomlin does not want to have his first losing season. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you. Oh, Hayden got a score. Oh, well, that's a close one, Hayden. 21-20 Steelers. Woo! Ooh, that's a tight one. Woo, that's tight. My sphincter would be tightening up on 21-20, brother. It'd be rough. I would have heart palpitations. Louis Galentine, thanks for tuning into the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty, brother. Pride, guts, and respect. That's so true. That's so true, Donnie, because I can't see them if they're not in the playoffs. They have everything to play for a non-losing season. That's what Tomlin's going to strive to get those guys. They're going to play for it anyway. 19-17, Louis thinks. Steelers, I'll take anything with the Steelers and any points, and I'm going to give my points here a little bit later. But the Steelers haven't had a losing record since going 6-10 under the Bill Cowher era in 2003. I believe that was probably, I think that was the year before he retired. Benjamin says a great win for the Pittsburgh Panthers today. Yes, in the Sun Bowl. One of those bowls. I think it was 37-35. And then the Steelers have won 5 of their last 7 going into this game Sunday night. Hard to believe what a streak. Yeah, that's a good streak. A non-losing season. Well, also, too, Steelers had great defense, had good running. And on the arm of the future Hall of Famer, Ben Roethlisberger. Hey, Ben never had a losing season either. So, I mean, that adds up. That's a potpourri ingredients for a soup of success right there, guys. But the Steelers right now are 5 out of 7. They're coming on strong at the end of the season. They played a lot of weak teams, mind you. I mean, the teams that they have played, except for Cincinnati, which they almost won that Cincinnati game. It's just the way the schedule goes. Some of these games might cost them to get into the playoffs. One speaking that I know in my head because it pisses me off to this day, losing to the Patriots as we did, and then the Jets. I'm going to tell you guys something. We were in every game except for the Philadelphia game and the Buffalo game. We've been in every game all season. Just the incompetency of the offense, slow starts, and the defense crumbling at certain times cost us being a little bit more, having a couple more victories and not worrying until the last 2 weeks, which sucks if this person wins or this person loses. You got to wait on the phone to see who wins. I don't like that. Like I said on my last show, on the Raider review show, I don't like it when the Steelers have to do this. I like the Steelers to handle their business. That's where situations have to happen and situations have to be so just to handle their business, and we don't have to worry about this other stuff. Now, this is going to be the 10th meeting on Sunday Night Football, Steelers versus Ravens. Ryan says Pittsburgh can't stop the Russian attack, Baltimore wins. And Ryan is a big, huge Baltimore fan, and you're absolutely right, Ryan. If we don't stop the run, we're fucked. If you guys run all over us like you did in that last game with not even Lamar Jackson, I don't think he's playing. We don't deserve to win. That's that. But these last two games where they stuffed the run, I think it's pride, Ryan. I think they're so pissed off. And I think Cam Hayward has to be the leader that he is, because he is a leader, to actually inspire this defense to shut him down. TJ Watt can be a factor. He's been very deceiving because he's only probably playing at 75%, Ryan. But you are absolutely right. If we can't stop the run, we are fucked. We are fucked. And this is also the 33rd meeting between Tomlin and Harbaugh. Only Curly LeBeau and George Halas have more meetings, 49 on the football field. So they're going to be very, very close of breaking that record. If Tomlin's around and Harbaugh's around for another 5 years, that record will be broken. It probably will in 5 years. Like I said before, Tomlin's not going anywhere unless he retires. So that's and the Ravens are 19-2 in home prime time games. Not good for us Steeler fans. Not good. We're real bumpy on Sunday night games, the Steelers are. So let's get to hey, Ken Karlovich, how you doing? Thanks for tuning into the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. I love the new faces popping on. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is a Steeler fan show that's filled with passion and emotion, brother. So thanks for tuning in. Let's get to the Ravens. The Ravens are going to be probably starting, Tyler Huntley, who's starting his third game. He's 2-1 since Lamar's injury in week 13 when he had a sprained knee. And he's not. Lamar Jackson, I believe, is out. I've heard some reports. I believe he's out. I think he's scared to death to face the Pittsburgh Steelers because he doesn't want to get effed up anymore going into the playoffs. If we beat the Ravens, we are going to show the AFC how to beat the Ravens in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So, and the last meeting, like Ryan said, they ran the ball. Amanda Botsford, thanks for tuning into the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. Tell your husband I said hello. It's been a while since I seen you guys. God bless you. Running back, J.K. Dobbins had 120 yards, 1 touchdown on 15 carries. Gus Edwards had 66 yards on 13 carries because Ryan was right. If the Ravens run the ball, we are in serious trouble. But I don't think they're going to be as productive as they was the last game due to the fact that the Steelers, the last 2 games, shut some major rushing teams down. And that is huge. Pride, like Donnie Fulmer said, pride will be on the line Sunday night. I know it's a late game, but by God, it's going to be a good game. And I don't think Lamar's playing, Lou. I think he's out, but I don't know because the Ravens Harbaugh doesn't give too much out there. So I just got to speculate. You can't believe everything you hear on the internet. You know how that goes. So, Brian Lamort, thanks for tuning in, brother. Got to get you on the show, Morty. I know you're a busy guy. So the linebackers too, Smith and Queen. They had a good game shutting the Steelers down before. Smith, when they got that trade from Chicago, he was a force. He had a sack. He had an interception. We can't have that. We didn't have any sacks come Sunday against the Raiders. Now, the Ravens' defense is a little better than the Raiders. I can't deny that. But we will see the play calling. He's out. Morty says he's out. There we go. And Morty knows football, so Morty says he's out. He's out. So Lamar Jackson is out. We're dealing with Tyler Huntley. If we can't stop Tyler Huntley, he only passed for 100 yards last time. They ran the ball over us. Jackson doesn't want to play on Sunday. Yeah, well, it all depends. Now, see, the thing is, though, with the Ravens defense, guys, is the Ravens have not allowed a 1,000-yard rusher all season long. And the Steelers don't have a 1,000 yards rusher. Now, Najee's very close. He's very close. It's play calling and schematics and execution running the ball. It's going to be a defensive slugfest. Every Steeler-Ravens game is, except for that one time that James Harrison got like 5 sacks on a Monday night and Ben lit him up. It was like 35. It was like 35-7. And I couldn't go to that game because I had my appendix was taken out. And I gave my tickets to my friend Casey Rocky, and she went down there to watch the game because I only had one ticket. Hey, Lisa, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. So it's going to be a slugfest. The winning team in this series hasn't scored more than 20 points in any of the past 4 meetings. 7 out of 8 games have been decided by 7 points or fewer. Louis says Harris looks decent as of late. True, and I love Lou that he's getting check down passes and making some yardage out of that, and they're checking the ball down. Kenny Pickett was doing that on that great drive, that 2-minute drive, 77 yards. Like, it was Kenny Pickett, it was Najee, it was Pratt Freiermuth, and the touchdown with George Pickens. That is a good nucleus for an offense. That doesn't even include Dante Johnson. Hey, Rick and Patty, thanks for tuning in. So, I mean, the Steelers have a young, skilled players. That game last week proven that Kenny Pickett needs to be and will be. This is going to be his second Sunday night game of his early career. Some quarterbacks never see Sunday night. He's going back to back. Yeah, that drive was awesome. I was up off my couch, Lou. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. So it was where am I at? I'm so whatever, but let's just see. I got paperwork. Okay, let's get to the Steelers. That's what I wanted to do. Hey, Freight Train. Here we go. Freight Train. Steelers going to stoke. Oh, I like it. I love the wrestling terminology, brother. I believe you're right. And Freight Train is one of the hosts of the Steelers Realm podcast. We do a mega cast with the Triple B Black Gold Dynasty and Steelers Realm podcast. We did a show where we had Cordell Stewart and Randy Fuller. I tell you what, it was cool as shit, man. I was like a kid in a candy store having some Pittsburgh Steelers on a podcast show. You don't get any better than that. Like, this podcast is a small thing. I'm trying to make it big. I just keep churning. But if you also want to listen to another Steelers Realm podcast, listen to them. They just did a show the other day. I think it's Mondays and Thursdays they go. And they go off the rails with the Freight Train where they go right after the game. Plugs. That's what I do because I'm Bad Bubba Brewer, goddammit. So anyway, let's get to Kenny Pickett, the Steelers. The quarterback, Kenny Pickett, he was knocked out of this last game. So he didn't really, truly face the Ravens as we wanted him to. Okay? So in the last meeting, it was, it was like in the second series, he took himself out of the game. And he did a smart thing because concussions are they're very hard to come by, and he knew he wasn't the best, so he pulled himself out of the game. So I give him props for that. I like Kenny Pickett's moxie, and his moxie is going to take him, and I think he's going to pass a little more against the Ravens, and he's going to play like he did on that. If he plays like he did on that last drive with poise and being cool in the pocket, no sacks last week. Hopefully no sacks this week would be good too. Kenny Pickett could light up the Ravens. I believe that. And Najee Harris is 157 yards away of 1,000 yards season. He must have been just triculating every game, just getting a little bit at a time. So he's at 1,000 yards. He's at 157 yards he's got to get. Last game he faced the Ravens was not that good. I tell you what, if Najee Harris gets anywhere between 75 to 75 yards, rushing and maybe 30 or 40 yards receiving. Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win this game. Dante Johnson it has 26 receptions for 304 yards in the past 4 games. But guys, this is supposed to be our number one receiver. He has no touchdowns. Not a one. I don't think I've ever seen this in any Steeler team where their number one receiver has never got a touchdown. And this late in the season on the 16th game. That is unheard of. It's but you know what? I believe it's play calling, but he did have that one in the end zone. He dropped it. So right now, Dante Johnson's coming on. Dante Johnson probably will have. Benjamin says Kenny Pickett is going to pass for 170 yards. I'm going to say, I'm going to go maybe 225. I'm going to say he goes over 200 pounds. 200 pounds, yeah. 200 yards. He's over 200 pounds. I know I'm over 200 pounds. But I believe that Pickett 225 and 2 touchdowns. But I'm going to get to my predictions here pretty quick because I know it's Friday night, and I am so happy and so inspired that everybody's tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty, the hottest Steeler podcast going today, which is with the fans jumping on. Nobody else does that like I do it. Everybody that jumps on is a part of the show. Ask your questions. I'll be more than happy to read them out loud and say hi to everybody because I truly appreciate this. And I do have other shows, and I'll talk about that later. But right now, we're talking about the goddamn Pittsburgh Steelers. Woo! Okay. Now, I didn't know if you guys knew this. TJ Watt is 4.5 sacks away from tying James Harrison for the all-time Steelers sack record. Lisa, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. And I believe TJ Watt is going to be a major force in this Ravens game. Travis says Steelers 24, Ravens 20. I like it. I like it. I like it. And the Steelers are 30-27 on Sunday night games, 16-7 on the road. But also, too, the Steelers lead the INTs with 17 in the NFL. I didn't know that till today. Didn't know that today. And also, we bleed black and gold. Thank you, Lisa. Yes, you do. We all do. That's why everybody's tuning in. Now, we have a couple of people that might be Ravens fans like Ryan jumping on. But you know what? Hey, they can come on. Everybody can come on. I don't care. This is a black and gold podcast. You know, as you see behind me, I don't mess around. So this is another stat here that I found out. Fitzpatrick, 41 combined interceptions and forced fumbles since joining the Steelers. Since he joined the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Steelers have 41 combined interceptions and forced fumbles since he turned in. Lisa says 27-20 Steelers. I like it. I like it. Also, another stat that I kind of like, and it's surprisingly, George Pickens has 13 receptions, surprisingly, over 20 yards this season. That's only behind Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson. That's huge because they haven't used George Pickens as I know they can and will because our offensive coordinator is not very good. Not very good. And hopefully he's by February 7th, he's working at Bilo, bagging groceries or giving me my Dairy Queen blizzards at Dairy Queen, but I'm not eating Dairy Queen because I'm not trying to eat sugar now because now I got to shed weight. Yeah. So let's do this other stat. Since week 12, over the past 5 weeks on Pro Football Focus, Kenny Pickett is in third place with a quarterback rating of 84-1. Joe Burrows is 90 and Trevor Lawrence is 88.1. And they're the only two ahead of him in the last 5 weeks. Okay. So it's a progression. It's a progression, people. I'm okay with that. So I hope you guys are too, because we just seen the Mitch Trubisky experiment. It's not going to work. Kenny, with that drive, cemented primetime Christmas Eve, cemented him as the quarterback of the future. We got to get some people around him. We need to get a big tackle, and we'll be talking about who we need in the offseason and what we're drafting as soon as whatever we do. We're in the playoffs or we're out of the playoffs. This Steeler podcast ain't shutting down, people. I'll bring shows. I got some ideas up here in my head, even though I had a couple concussions. Hey, Cowboy, thanks for tuning in. I'm always churning. I'm always thinking of ideas. We just won't be able to go twice a week. We'll be going once a week with the Black and Gold Steelers Dynasty show here. So anyway, let's get to some injuries. Now we know that Lamar Jackson is out due to the fact that Brian Lamort told me. Cowboys says they need to tighten up the run defense. Yes, they do. And if they play like they did the last two games, the Ravens are going to be butt stung. That's what they're going to be. Steelers are going to shut them down. I hope they tighten it up. I hope you're right. I hope. You know what I mean? It could be anytime you beat the Ravens is good. The Ravens and the Patriots and that lovely win last week. I can't be excited enough. That was huge. No matter what, that was just so huge. Now, let me get to some injuries. We know Lamar Jackson, like I said, Morty told me that Lamar Jackson is out. Receiver Demarius Robinson is questionable. Nick Boyle is questionable. Geno Stone, safety, questionable. Now, these two players on the defense, I hope they don't play, or if they play, they won't be at 100%, is cornerback Marcus Peters and defensive tackle Calamus Campbell. Campbell had that block against Boswell. I believe he's been hurt, and I hope he stays hurt, but they're all questionable. So if Campbell does not play, the Steelers' run game could be very, very formidable against the Ravens defense. Lisa says our Steeler players are starting to play off each other's strengths. True, and I'll tell you what, Lisa, the motivation of Cam Hayward's game last week was an outer body experience for him. That's the best game he played all year. And just something maybe reach deep down inside him that could actually, the veteran leadership that he has could actually carry over to Sunday night's game in Baltimore and then end it with the Cleveland Browns game. And maybe, just maybe, we can get into playoffs. We're not out yet. We're still in. But anyway, the Steelers injury report, Trey Norwood, questionable. Now, defensive tackle, Larry Obajobi, I think he has a turf toe, and I think they'll do whatever. He has to play. Larry Obajobi has had a good season. I know a couple games, but still, the run defense was shoddy, but he still is very, very good. And I would like to see Larry Obajobi. He only got a 1-year deal. I would like to see him signed next year. They know he had injury stuff, but when they signed him, we're going to have to get a young defensive lineman. That's in the draft, and we'll talk about it because there's college people out there. I got to get Burns on the show. He's been ducking me. And then Miles Jack is still questionable. I think he had limited practice this week. Cornerback Akeelia Witherspoon has returned from the injured reserve, and he's got to practice till he gets back in. He's got a 21-day wait period if he's ready to go. I don't know if they'll put him in this week, but he's practicing. Gary Schatz, thanks for tuning into the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. How's your night? And linebacker Marcus Allen with a torn brainage because he made some bum-ass plays that cost some penalties is on the injured reserve. Marcus Allen should have been cut when he went into the other people's huddle in that one game, and that was just ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. But he's out on IR, and I don't think the Steelers are going to miss him one bit. Now, my Triple B keys to victory. First one is the Steelers' defensive line getting penetration and stopping the run offense of the Baltimore Ravens. Getting in there, getting some pressure, stuffing some holes, not having the Ravens get some splash run plays. They don't need that. They need to keep them under 75 yards. Total offense. I'd be happy with that. 60. I mean, by the grace of God, I would love 45, but let's be real here. 75 yards total. Hey, if they can stop Josh Jacobs, they can stop the Ravens, by God. Benjamin says, need the offensive line to protect Kenny Pickett. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. No sacks last week. We need to, build it for Sunday night. So, and the Steelers, Nathan, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. And the Steelers are going to have to run the ball. Last time they played, I think Najee got maybe 35 yards. Shane Stabler says, stop the run, baby. Stop the run. Absolutely right. Special field correspondent Shane, you're absolutely right. But the Steelers, my second key to victory is that Pittsburgh Steelers have to run the ball efficiently. And the thing is, though, Kenny Pickett wasn't playing last time. So that could be it's going to be a positive, because if he doesn't see anything, maybe he can check it out and get a couple first downs. And honestly, that's going to go right into my third pick. Kenny Pickett has to play a flawless game down in Baltimore. He has to take control of his offense like he drove down against the Raiders last week. That kind of poise, composure, and moxie will get you somewhere. That's right. I like the word moxie. So I'm looking for Kenny Pickett to throw for 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, either running one or passing. He's going to be looking for George Pickens again. I know him, but he's been also throwing to Dante Johnson. This could be, hey, T, what's up, big dog? How you doing, brother? Hats off the tarantula, baby. Thanks for tuning in, T. God bless you. Have a happy new year, brother. That is where this is going to be the key. That's going to be the key. He throws for one, he passes for one, and Dante Johnson might get his first touchdown. Dante is the unproven factor. He's been coming on lately, he just hasn't scored, and it's very, very speculative, and I cannot believe a number one receiver of the Steelers have not scored a touchdown going into the 16th week. This is unheard of. This is totally unheard of in any Steeler team, any kinds. When the Steeler teams were bad, even in the 50s, even their number one receiver got a touchdown. So I mean, that's how it goes. But yeah, if Kenny Pickett has a flawless game, that is the third thing that will give the Steelers victory. He's going to Pat Freiermuth. He's going to, maybe there's some trick plays coming. They haven't used them all year. And hopefully they don't do a jet sweep. But, who knows? Matt Canada is going to have to call a good game. Because if Matt Canada calls a good game, he might get extended next year. And I'm sure I'm going to be bitching for a long time because the Steelers offense only averages 14.3 yards or points a game. So I could probably average eating 13 slices of pizza more than the Steelers have scored with the Matt Canada's offense. And I'm not eating pizza anymore because carbs are not too many carbs. It's common. It's that, doctor tells me, you eat too much. Yeah. So anyway, those are my 3 keys for a Steelers victory in Baltimore. Lisa says the run game increases along with the strategic turnover. Steelers victory. And here's my prediction. Pittsburgh Steelers 24, Ravens 13. 24-13 Steelers over the Ravens. That's my score. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Benjamin says, go Steelers. Sunday night, 8:20 kickoff on the Peacock channel. Everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. I truly appreciate you guys tuning in to my small little world of podcasting where I talk about the Steelers and talk about stuff I love. And I try to prep and I have notes. It's not like I do it off the top of my head. I try to, and there's some stuff that I bring to the table off my noggin. But after a couple concussions, it's hard to remember. But I want to wish everybody a happy new year from the Triple B experience. Gary Fisher, thanks for tuning in. I will always replay this show. You can catch it on Spotify. You can go to the YouTube channel and please hit subscribe. We're about very close to 600 viewers. I would like to get 600. And Happy New Year, Ken, and the Steeler fans. Thank you, Lisa, to the Steeler fans of the podcast. Thank you so much. And I can't express enough how much this show means to me, interacting with everybody on here, because I don't see everybody out in the world anymore, and podcasting world like this. Happy New Year's to you, T. Thank you, brother. I'll see you around at a show sometime very soon, I hope. God bless you. And I can't see enough people when I go out and about, and that's those are the gifts that I want. It ain't about wrapping the gifts. It's about seeing people. It's about experiences, and that's why this podcast is all about. I talk about my experiences that I love. I talk about the love of the stuff that I do love. And the Pittsburgh Steelers is one of them. Pulp culture, pro wrestling, comic books, everything. But we are going to do our year-end unscripted. Myself, Cable, and Mav. It's coming. It got delayed due to holidays and some technical difficulties on my end. I'm not a tech pro. So we will have that show, I believe, very, very soon. I will promote it, put it out there. We give our best of the best of 2022. And I want to get some people on to do some interviews. And I just want to do some stuff more because, okay, 14th. Okay, KSWA Wrestling in Pittsburgh, January 14th. Shane Stobler, Happy New Year. Best wishes, black and gold. Kisses too, my brother. Love you. I love everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much. Like I said, hit like and subscribe on the YouTube channel and on Spotify. I'm going to work my ass off, people, in 2023 to make this podcast even better and my channel even better. And with you guys following me, jumping on, giving me some stuff to talk about, let me say hello to you. I tell you what. Hey, Brian Yeager, the Lumberjack. Thanks for tuning in. This is payment for me. This is payment seeing people that I haven't seen in a while jumping on my show and saying hello. Happy New Year, Lumberjack, to you and your family. That's what I'm getting goosebumps right now. I can't get in a wrestling ring. This is what I like to do, and I truly appreciate everybody for tuning in. I will have the replay out here pretty soon. I'm going to get out of here. Everybody, stay safe. If you have too much to drink, please call somebody. It's not worth it, people. It's one thing now. I don't want to bury people. I want to talk to people and wish them the best. So take a taxi. So, hey, have a good time, but not too much where you can't drive. And that's my little speech for the show right now. Everybody, Happy New Year from the Triple B Experience. I will see you guys with a Steeler victory come next week. I'll be ready. Oh, I'll call you when you come to Iowa. Come get me, bro. That's a long haul, but I would, brother. I would try. You probably sober up by the time I get there. But like I said, thank you, everybody, for tuning in, being a part of the show. I truly love everybody when they tune on. It's so much. It's so go black and gold. That's right, Lumberjack. Go Steelers. 24-13 over the Ravens. You heard it here. And this is the only Steeler podcast where I talk to all the Steeler fans. You know what I mean? So God bless you all, and thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being part of the Triple B family. I love you guys all. Happy New Year, and I'm out of here as soon as I hit my music. Hit my music! Woo!